Good morning, students. All are welcome to the revision class, a revision for your annual exam. I have already given your portions. That is from reader, you have to study 3 lessons. The Mountain and the Squirrel, it's a poem. The Story of a Song and The Happy Prince. And from grammar way, lessons 13, 14, 16 and 21. And for writing this time, I'll give you a topic, that is you have to write a paragraph about that particular topic. Okay, so from reader, Mountain and the Squirrel, Story of a Song and The Happy Prince. So let's revise everything once again. So the poem, The Mountain and the Squirrel. So, as you all know, once the mountain and the squirrel had a quarrel, and the mountain told the squirrel that he is superior and better than others. Okay, then the squirrel told the mountain that mountain was indeed very big, but there is place for everything that exists on earth. And he told the mountain that he was not ashamed of being small. And he reminded the mountain that he is neither as small as the squirrel nor as full of life and energy. That is, the mountain is not as small as the squirrel, but it is not as lively as the squirrel also. Then, however, the squirrel admitted that the mountain made a long and pretty squirrel track for him to run along. Then finally, he tells the mountain that different individuals have different talents. Different individuals have different talents. So just as he cannot carry forest on his back, the squirrel cannot carry forest on his back, and whereas the mountain on his part cannot crack a nut. സ്കുറലിന് ഒരു മൗണ്ടൻ പുറത്ത് ചുമന്നുകൊണ്ട് പോകാൻ പറ്റില്ല, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഒരു മൗണ്ടന് ഒരു നട്ടിനെ ക്രാക്ക് ചെയ്യാനും പറ്റില്ല. സോ എവ്രിബഡി ഹാസ് ദെയർ ഓൺ ടാലൻസ്, skills and talents. Okay, so that is and this poem is written by the American poet Ralph Waldo Emerson. So that is the theme of this poem. Okay, so hope all of you have studied all the question answers from this poem. Then next is the story of a song. Okay, the story of a song, that is that Christmas carol. The date was 23rd December 1880, and a band of actors had enacted the story of Jesus Christ's birth at Saint Nicholas Church, where Saint Nicholas Church in a small village in Austria. So Father Joseph Moore is the assistant pastor. He was moved by their performance, that he composed a poem on that theme. On that theme means Jesus Christ's birth. Then what happened? He wanted to turn it into a carol for the Christmas Eve Mass, the next evening. Okay, then the church organist, Franz Gruber, he put music to it so that it could be sung with just a guitar. Then what happened? The organ was out of order. Then once the organ was repaired, then this man Gruber tested this composition on the organ, and greatly impressed by its quality, called Muracher, the mechanic who repaired the organ. What happened? He took the copies of this composition to his village. And from there, two famous families of singers carried the carol to the United States of America, Then what happened, and northern Europe, and performed it in 1863. It was translated in English and became one of the most popular songs in the world. And in 2011, what happened, UNESCO declared it as an intangible cultural heritage. So that is the story of song. Hope all of you have studied meanings and question answers from this lesson. Then last lesson, the Happy Prince. It's it's a very simple story. It's a very beautiful one also. Very famous story. The statue of Happy Prince stood on a tall column covered in gold, and the statue was covered in gold and studded with gems, sapphire and ruby. And this Happy Prince's father was a generous king, and he shared his wealth with his people. He shared everything, his fortune, his wealth, to his with his people. And but soon after the king died, the prince also passed away. Prince also died, overcome by sorrow. Then after the death of this prince, what happened, the people collected all the gold the king had given them and made a golden statue of the prince, and they called the statue the Happy Prince. Then a swallow, on his way to Egypt, they decided to take rest under the statue. And when the swallow realized that the statue was sad, the swallow asked him the reason. And the statue told him that when he was alive, and he never realized how miserable people lived, how miserably people lived. Then what happened, now that he could see everything, he understood their sufferings. Then the prince asked the swallow to give a ruby, then two sapphires, then respectively to a poor woman who is looking after her sick child, then a starving writer trying to complete a play, and a little match girl whose matches had fallen in the mud. So he asked the swallow to take his ruby and two sapphires and give to these three people. Then he asked the swallow to take the gold that covered him leaf by leaf and gave it to all the poor in the kingdom. ആ നാട്ടിലുള്ള പാവങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഓരോരോ ലീഫായിട്ട് ഇളക്കി കൊടുത്തു, ഗോൾഡൻ ലീഫ്. Then these precious gifts made them very happy. The people became so happy because they got a golden present. Okay, then soon after, what happened, the swallow that is so tired and died, and the mayor was ordered to destroy the statue and thrown into the trash along the body of the dead swallow. Then what happened, last, an angel from heaven had been asked by the god to find the best, most beautiful things he had seen on earth. Then finally the heart of the prince and the dead swallow lying together carried them to heaven. This angel carried these two things as most beautiful things on earth and carried them to heaven. Okay, that is the story of Happy Prince. From this lesson also I have given question answers, extracts, etc. Study all those things. Then from these three lessons, I think there are lots of meaning are there. So you have to study these meanings only. Okay, this much only. From this only I'll ask. Spry, healthy and energetic. Disgrace means shame. Pastor, Christian priest. Lyrics, the words of a song. Spellbound, greatly impressed. Enamored, charmed. Desperate, very upset. So study these meanings only. Sorry. Then gram away lessons 13, 14, 16 and 21. So important portions I'll give you. This is from lesson 13. That is, you have to study exercise A and C only. ഓക്കെ, വേറെ ഒന്നും പഠിക്കേണ്ട, വേറെ ഒന്നേന്നും ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കത്തില്ല, എല്ലാം പഠിക്കണം. പക്ഷേ എക്സാമിന് വേണ്ടി ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ വരുന്നത് A and C. Exercise, so study A and C. Then lesson 14, exercises A, B and D. Lesson 16, exercises A, B, E. Then lesson 21, exercises, full exercise. Okay, prepositions, very simple lesson A, B, C, D. Okay, so these are the focus area from which questions will come. That is I'll explain this from continuous tense. Continuous, you all know, subject plus is, are plus, verb plus ing is the continuous form. And this exercise you have to study A, fill in the blanks with present continuous, that is is, are plus, verb plus ing form. Okay, then past continuous tense, was, were plus verb plus ing. From that, this exercise you have to study exercise C. Okay, was or were plus verb plus ing. Then perfect tenses, perfect tense form, subject plus, has plus V3 form of the verb, past participle form of the form. Present perfect, has or have plus past participle of the verb. So here one example, exercise A. Then past perfect tense. Past perfect tense means subject plus, had plus past participle. Okay, had plus V3 form you have to write. And exercise B, study exercise B. Then future perfect tense, subject plus, will plus, have plus past participle of the verb. Okay, from that also D, exercise D, you have to study. Then subject verb agreement. If the subject is singular, we take singular subject, and if the subject is plural, we take plural verb. So that is the subject verb agreement. And from this you have to study exercise A and exercise B, and last one exercise E. Exercise A, B and E you have to study. Okay, then prepositions of place. Prepositions of place, words that are placed before a noun or pronoun to show their relation to some other word in the sentence. So some prepositions of place are given here: at, on, and in. At, on, in are called what prepositions of time. So from that exercise, prepositions of time, place, movement, etc. is given there. You have to study all the exercises from that lesson. Exercise, that is lesson 21. Exercise A is there. Then prepositions of time, exercise B. Then prepositions of movement, exercise C, and exercise D. All exercises you have to study from this lesson, prepositions. Okay, so that's all for today. Study well, score high, good marks. Okay, then what, study all the question answers, meanings, those only I have given. Then paragraph writing will be there. Then grammar, study focus area only. Okay, so thank you, have a nice day.